returned. The prophecy has been fulfilled. Returned destruction.
Weigh the circumstances surrounding the very origin of the white man into the world, to then determine if he's capable of being civil, if he's capable of being human. This we must put on the scale of Ma'at and give it the Ma'atic weigh-in and see if it strikes the Ma'atic balance. And if it does not strike the Ma'atic balance, then we must make sure that we are not victims of history, because it is written that he or she who does not learn the lessons of history is doomed to repeat them.
The uprising was massive. We had planned to hold a peace summit, sending ambassadors to all kingdoms. However, not all were happy with the idea of peace. A few even sent the ambassadors away. Despite this, Africans and Yurugu have all decided to attend and send delegations. They see this as an opportunity to gauge each other's intentions.
We won't know peace until all Yurugu is destroyed. But we need time. They also need time. The Yurugu from Mars aren't enough to dominate. They still rely on the Yurugu of Earth. We've won some battles, but this war is far from over. We must be on full alert. Double the Queen's guards. I have a feeling Yurugu plans to attack soon.
We'll also double your guards. Any one of our heads would be a prize.
I agree. We can't let the Yurugu have all the bold plans. Prepare a counterattack on their most heavily guarded building or territory.
You want us to attack? I do. I want to destroy.
No, don't destroy, but show them. You can be touched, but also make them think we failed. I don't want to destroy. I love dealing with the arrogant Yurugu. That's one of their weaknesses. Also, they're preparing themselves to annihilate us before we annihilate them.
But should also be noted, King, this could cause them to take a more direct hit.
They've been planning this for thousands of years. They've always been terrorists. Nat Turner. They cooked him, ate him, and wore his skin. That's all they know is terror.
We know our history.
We know our history.
Please bring me the plans by tonight. We must always be prepared before them.
Will fulfill my king's request. We know our history.
We know our history.
Upinde wa Mvua began to welcome all the delegates, dignitaries, ambassadors, and religious leaders from around the world. The Yurugu did not send an ambassador. Instead, they sent the president with a tape message from I Am. The king decided not to send an ambassador, but to speak directly before the chamber. As the room buzzed with chatter, old friends and enemies caught up, creating a euphoric atmosphere. Perhaps humans had the chance to experience peace once again.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Please take your seats. Settle down, everyone. Please take your seats. The Upinde wa Mvua Empire welcomes you all. Only two extremes bring people together: war and peace. War destroys, while peace allows nations to strive. Peace is the only thing that will ensure humanity's survival. We gather here over the week in the hope that we can resolve our differences. It's better for us to be united than to be at war with each other.
We, the African people, have never known peace. We have been terrorized by every nation on this planet for thousands of years. They were all envious that the universe has blessed us with everything. Africa wants for nothing. We are a self-sufficient nation. The world needs Africa. We don't want anything from anyone. We trade because our friends need. But the Yurugu, they were born with nothing but hatred. The only thing they ever loved was war.
The past can guide us, but we cannot remain there. We must move on at a fast pace to run towards peace, for war is chasing us. And the only ones who want war are destroying this planet.
This is where you are wrong. We want war with the warmonger, the Yurugu. No one will be at peace as long as they breathe the air of this planet. I thought we were calling this meeting to build thousands of ships and send them all to Mars.
No need for insults and threats, King. Everyone here is here to find a solution.
I am here for that as well, to warn the world. to tell the world that the only solution is the death and destruction of all Yurugu. We must kill every Yurugu that lives on this planet.
Freedom is a law of nature. Freedom is a law of nature, and justice is deeply rooted in the universal order of things. And it is the divine intent of the Almighty, all-wise God and Creator that everything live equally under His creation. Let's look at it. The ant and the anteater, the chicken and the chicken hawk. It makes no difference what it is in nature. All have been created equally, but not equal. Everything must have food. You with me? Yes, sir. Water, air, and the proper environmental and atmospheric condition. The ant must have food. The ant must have water. The ant must have air. The ant must have the proper atmospheric and environmental conditions to continue to live. But on the other hand, the anteater must have food. It just turns out that the ant is the food of the anteater.
Most of the chamber was in shock, but most understood. Even though the Upinde wa Mvua had achieved peace for 1,000 years, when the Yurugu got a chance to control the planet, they returned to their evil ways. The room began to feel that this was turning from a peace summit to a war summit. The president of the Yurugu rose to speak.
You have seen who we are. You know what we can do. We ruled this planet for thousands of years. But I am here to promise that if the world takes their place as servants, I Am shall let you live. If you submit to I Am like you submitted to Jesus, Allah, or the Yahweh, I will spare your life. The Supreme Leader, the God, I Am. I shall now speak.
They lead with emotion. They are the Yurugu of this planet. They were unaware of your history and believed all the lies we told them. They believed the lies that allowed us to rule over Africans for thousands of years. Their arrogance and belief in their knowledge of their enemy led to their defeat. However, I have revealed the truth to them, showing them that Africa is a great continent with rich cultures and their own god before the Yurugu arrived. Now, they are training, and we are growing stronger, preparing to meet you on the battlefield. We will kill all your men and rape your women, destroying every African that walks this planet. And you, African's so-called king, you will not escape this planet.
Stop with the threats. This land has always been neutral territory. Any attack on any leader will be considered an act of war against the Upinde wa Mvua Empire. Choose your words wisely, Yurugu, from here on out.
Your mixed-race mutts are in the same category as these monkeys. We will murder you all unless you kneel before me and submit to my will.
We warned you repeatedly. No one knows Yurugu better than us. We warned you repeatedly. The Yurugu despise you, and the African distrust you. Now, you find yourself caught in the middle of a conflict. What do you think happens to a person who stands in the midst of a gunfight?
The king's security took the threat seriously and escorted him to his vehicle. He was protected by his elite guard, the Shadow, which also included his son. As they sped through the capital to the airport, the king appeared relaxed, but you could sense his concern, particularly in his son's eyes.
You shouldn't have come personally, father. I warned you. I was against this. You should have sent your ambassadors. We are in the midst of a war.
That's why I needed to be here. I know no fear. Africa doesn't stand because of one man. She won't fall because of one man.
Father, their God, their leader, has directly threatened your life. Now, not later, not figuratively. No, it's a threat, a promise.
You're the one who shouldn't be here. You've allowed fear to infiltrate my defenses. But fear won't prevail today. Today, I will eliminate all fear.
As they reached the airport, their plane sat in front of them, surrounded by shadows that never left its side. They escorted the king to the plain as the ambassador from India called out to him. He motioned to the shadow to let him pass. As they spoke, they discussed the chaos unfolding before them.
You know that the Indian Empire stands with you in your fight against Yurugu. It will always be our fight.
No need to say that. Our kingdoms have always been brothers. The melanated of the earth will always have connection.
I will return to my kingdom at once. Tell them of the madness that has happened here. We have already begun the rebuilding of our armies.
As the king said goodbye, he began his walk to his plane. His son walked in front of him, shadow on the side. Out of the sky, a missile strikes his plane. One more minute, he would have been walking up the stairs. The explosion caused pieces to fly everywhere, as the shadow covers the king. Like he was sacked at a football game. A piece had flown into his son's back. As the shadow began to rise, they yelled at the king. "We must get back to the cars." As they carried his son, "We must take him to a secure location."
I have vehicles gaining on me.
As the vehicles caught up and began to fire. But these vehicles could survive misses that just blew up the king's plane. As he watched his son cough up blood.
Tell the shadow in the next car to break off and engage those chasing us. I want them all killed, but bring one to me alive.
Yes, King. As they arrived at a fully secured hotel, they drove by security to an underground garage.
Son, hold on. We shall get you help now.
As his son smiled.
I've done my job, Father. You're safe. All I ask is you send all Yurugu to the afterlife, so I can kill them again.
The blood is going to pour, blood clot. Tune in next week. How many dead Yurugu for one African? Like we say, the red, the black, and the green.